Welcome to the whatever.
The Ride or Die Podcast.
Yeah.
Say it.
The Ride or Die Podcast.
Woo. Good morning, sweetheart. That's not actually morning. I don't know why I said that. It's 7:40 on April 23rd, 2020. It's actually a gorgeous day. It was actually the best day we've had in Fargo in quite a long time. So I'm going to throw myself out there in this podcast. I'm kind of nervous about it. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. I've actually recorded this 4 times. This would be the 4th time I've recorded this because I've done it. And I'm like, I said too much, or I didn't say enough, or I started too much, because this is really personal. But it needs to be said for your benefit, and I'm going to get into that here in a second. Right now, I just want to kind of say, always be nice to everybody, because you don't know what's going on in their head. Everybody has their demons, and sometimes their demons are just ridiculous, and that's something I went through, and I'm going to get into that too. You just don't know. Everybody has problems, and you might think their problems are small, or you might think their problems are big. But either way, it's their problems, and how they feel about it is how they feel about it, and you need to understand that. And I wish I understood what I'm saying right now 2 years ago. And just be wary, and the way people deal with their demons, the way I look at it, it's like 2 different ways. You could be like me, that's shuts out, don't talk about it, I'll figure it out, don't let anybody know. Or you could be like other people that do weird things like post memes and make fun of their demons, we'll say, which is super weird to me. Like, I was on Facebook the other day, and 2 memes really stuck out to me. One meme was a gal posted, "I can't wait till my son gets older so he can kick his dad's ass." And I'm just thinking, I'm like, that's some pretty unhealthy shit right there. I hope you don't raise your kid to fight his father. But if you do, I feel bad for the kid. That's not my problem. We got another one that really stuck out. It was something along the lines, here's to the weekend, a glass of wine with a side of depression. And I'm like, that's dangerous. Like, if you're depressed, figure it out. Depression sucks. And there was a time in my life I was very depressed. I was in a very dark place. And that was 2020 to 2021, in the midst of those years. Why I was depressed? Well, the reason doesn't make sense. The reason, when I say it, it sounds so stupid, and this is why I never told anybody. I don't know if anybody really realized how depressed I was. And I'm just finding out now how depressed I actually was, because now that my life is kind of going where I want it to go, I realized how bad I actually was. So the reason I was depressed is because I had a bunch of loved ones that constantly missed me. At the time, I worked in the oil field, so I was doing a lot of driving. I don't know if you remember it at this point in your life, whenever you watch this, but I would take 2 weeks at work, and then I'd take 2 weeks at home. And when I was home, I had a girlfriend at the time. I had to go see my girlfriend, and then I would go see you, and then I'd go back to Fargo and see the girlfriend, and then I'd go to work and see my family, go to work, see the family, see the girlfriend, see you, and it was just back and forth all the time. I probably drove 20, 30 hours every month. It got rough. The driving really killed me. But right away, when every once in a while you would cry when I would leave, and then the girl I was seeing would cry when I would leave, and then the family would be like, "Oh, Matthew, we want to see more of you." And right away it felt good. Oh, I'm loved. This is great. But after a while, it just felt like I was disappointing everybody. It felt like my responsibilities to everybody in my life were fighting my responsibilities to everyone in my life. It seemed like every time I would leave you, you would cry. And then every time I would go to work and have to leave the girl I was seeing, she'd cry. And then every time I would leave home to go back home to my hometown Dickinson to go home to see the girl I was seeing, like my family was like, hey, Matthew, you should stay a little bit. We want to see more of you. And I have all these responsibilities to the life I was living. And after a while, it took me a dark place because I felt like everything I did, I was disappointing people. I felt like I can never make anybody happy. And it was a snowball effect. So, a snowball, put it on the hill, it's really small, and it starts rolling. It just picks up. And at some point, you can't stop it until it hits something. And my snowball got pretty big, and all of a sudden, it crashed and blew up, and my life changed. So the more I saw everybody cry, the more I felt like I was disappointing people. The more I felt like I was disappointing people, the more I felt irritated with life. And then the more irritated with life I got, the more angry I got. And the more angry I got, the more I would lash out. And you took a little toll on this. The girl I was seeing probably took the most, and I'm sorry for that because she's the one I saw the most, and I would lash out at her. I became really controlling. Every time someone would make her sad, it would make me mad. And it just sucked. And then my family would get mad at me because I was irritated with them. And even my mom would call me an asshole every once in a while. And I was an asshole because everybody I loved in my life at that time, I just felt like I couldn't do good. I felt like I was not worthy of anybody in my life. You, the girl we're seeing in my family, I just felt like a disappointment. And that's a hard feeling. So what I ended up doing is I find little things to make myself happy. And the things were like, I spent a lot of money. My credit card debt went through the roof, which I finally got that under control. So thank goodness. I would talk to other girls that weren't involved in my life. So I was basically cheating on the girl I was seeing, and nothing helped. Of course, nothing would help because it's fake. But I didn't tell anybody. Why didn't I tell anybody? Because how can you go to somebody and be like, what? How would you feel, sweetheart, if I would go to you and be like, Rayleigh, you're crying every time I leave is just crushing me. Like I feel like a disappointment. How could I go to the girl I'm seeing or was seeing and say, sweetheart, you crying is crushing me, breaking my heart. Like, we need to figure this out. And the girl I saw at the time, she held her feelings on her shoulders. So I definitely would have broke her heart if I told her crying is breaking my heart. It would not have been good. Like, I was scared to hurt somebody telling my feelings. How could I tell my family this? Because I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. So I told myself it was a lie. I'm like, there's something more. There's something else going on. Like, I'll figure it out. And I'm telling you about this in April for the fact, like, last April, like, I was in a dark place, in a sense of I just wanted to leave. I was so tired of seeing the people I enjoyed and love cry. I was like, I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm going to pack a bag, throw my phone on the bed, take the bike, and I was going to leave. And I've been thinking about that for months. And it was scary because I didn't know if I wanted to come back. I didn't, because I was so tired of making people cry. It's hard to think about that I was that bad that I wanted to leave everybody in my life and not know if I wanted to come back. It was real. But lucky enough, the gal I was seeing, she decided to up and leave, which thank goodness she did, because the way she did it is probably a lot better than the way I wanted to do it. But she needed to leave for her own growth anyways, and I needed it to be taken down a peg or two. And when she left, it was like a giant relief. Like, finally, one person I don't have to hurt anymore. And that was my thought, like, when she left. And it's like, how can you even tell that to somebody? It's like, I was just in a bad place. But after she left, like, I still couldn't figure out what was going on. I was still depressed. And then I had an opportunity to quit the oil field. And it wasn't the right timing, but I said, yeah, I'm out of here. Gone. And that was it. That was my problem this whole time. I feel like, thinking back, like all the running around I did. See, now that I don't work in the oil field, I don't have to disappoint my family anymore because they know I'm not coming around. Now I talk to you more because I'm not always at work. I'm not tired all the time. I'm not switching days to nights. It's just a lot better. I still see you the same amount, which sooner or later is going to be a little bit more, which is going to be good. But I'm a lot better. But me saying all this, I wish I would have spoke my truth. Even as ridiculously as the truth is to me, I wish I would have said something. Because I would have found out who in my life actually matters. Maybe if I would have told that gal I saw was seeing, like, hey, this is what's going on in my head, maybe she would have understood. And maybe she wouldn't have. And that goes back to the thing, like, the people that mind don't matter. The people that matter don't mind. I wish I would have said something. Because right now, like, I don't even see myself being in another relationship. Because the way that last girl left, she was so upset, pissed off. And that was 100% all my fault. But now it's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, I feel like I'm that guy that hurts people. And I know I'm not. Like, I'm a good person. I know that. And I know I'm a good person for the fact is I try. I try to be a good person. I think that's all that matters. And it goes back to, like, people's thoughts. They might be ridiculous. They might be absolutely ridiculous. But it's how they feel. So at the very least, you have to understand that they're feeling something, and that matters. And that's a good lesson that I'm going to take on with you. Like, no matter what happens in your life when you're growing up, you can talk to me. You can talk to your mom. You can even talk to your stepdad. Your mom and stepdad are very two smart individuals. Me, I'm just a big dummy. But I'll listen. Your mom's been through a lot. She will understand. But I can tell you, me personally, no matter what you do, no matter what happens to you, I will not get mad at you. Because this life is hard, and I'm just going to be there for you. So never be scared. And that is the whole point of me telling you this story. If I could put myself in my dark secret of my depression and how I didn't talk about it on the internet so everybody can see it and hear it, I hope that gives you the trust and the courage to come to your family when you need help. Because that's what I should have did. I should have went and talked to somebody. And that's the one thing I absolutely regret, is not talking to somebody about my feelings. They do matter, even if they are ridiculous. And I used to think some of these people with ridiculous thoughts and feelings, I thought, you're crazy. But now that I had a crazy one, it's like, I'm an idiot. Because people's feelings are their truth. What they're thinking is their truth. Like I said before, you don't have to understand it. You just have to know that that's their thoughts. And you need to kind of try to find a way to validate and maybe understand. So as you grow older, be that person's light in the darkness. Help people. Don't let people feed their demons. Just be a good person and do your best to help other people. That's all I can really say about all this. This is really hard for me to say. Like I said, this is the fourth time I've done it, and a couple of times I was just crying, and a couple of times I just spoke too much. So, sweetheart, it's whatever you need. Like, I'm always going to be there for you. no matter what. Do not be scared to talk to me, your mom, or your stepdad, or even your brother and sister when you get older. It's good. Just reach out. I love you. And honestly, that goes for everybody else. If anybody else actually gets through this podcast and gets to this point, if you have something going on in your life that you're scared to talk about to somebody, and you know me and know how to contact me, I'll listen. Because I don't want anybody to go through that pain and suffering I went through. Because that pain and suffering went to other people to suffer. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. That was a really hard time for me. And I lost and hurt people. And it's just a bad feeling. And it took a lot for me to become the person I am today. And I just want to help out. So don't be scared. Talk to somebody. That goes for everybody. Just talk to somebody. If they don't understand and they don't validate what you're saying, they don't matter. Find people that matter. Okay. Whew, that was a lot. Sweetheart, I love you. And everybody else, I love you too. I'm out. Peace.